welcome back to Liz Art Studios. Today we have the second session of the lesson that we were doing on volume. Now today we are going to be working with hatching and cross-hatching lines to show volume. But we're also going to look at the artist Lebo and how he used hatching and cross-hatching to do just that. Today we are going to use several materials that you have to bring out and put on your table. We are going to be using white paper as always, well, as usual. We're going to be using glue stick. We're going to be using the work of art that you did last time with the shades and the tints, that now it's dry. We're going to be using a pair of scissors, your size. We're going to be using a permanent marker, or a black marker will do, that's fine. And also, if you have a little box or an orange, I ate the apples from my tray last time, so today we're gonna use an orange, okay? That, and your imagination. So let's get started. We began talking about hatching and cross-hatching. Hatching is a style that artists use when they're drawing with a marker or with a pen or also with a pencil, okay? So let me show you here what it is, okay? I'm gonna put it right here and I'm gonna show you. Hatching is just using lines. You could use them wide apart or you could use them closer together, okay? Hatching could be vertical, it could be horizontal, and also it could be diagonal, just like this. It could be wider, leaving more space in between, and it could be darker, okay, and getting less space in between. So when we compare hatching to a tint or a shade, we say that this side right here, where there's more light projected, it will be a tint, and then this side here would be more like a shade. All right, so that's how we compare it. Okay, then we have cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is when you use hatching, for example, here in a horizontal way, and then you hatch the other way also. Okay, you hatch vertically. All right, and that would be cross-hatching. Now, if you do this like this, leaving more space at the top and less space at the bottom, you would have a darker space here, which would be more like a shade, and this would be more like a tint if we compare it to color, okay? Now, cross-hatching can also be diagonal. You could hatch vertical and then diagonal one way, or diagonal the other way, leaving more space here or less space here to make it darker or lighter, and that shows volume. And again, cross-hatching could also be hatching horizontally, vertically, and then also diagonal. And when you do this, you're working with a really dark space in which you almost want to acquire some black characteristics down here to make it seem lighter. Now, an artist that used this hatching and cross-hatching technique is Lebo, and in his work, okay, right here that we see that, for example, in the hat he used some hatching techniques, and at the top of the hat he used cross-hatching techniques, okay? Also in the hat he used really dark cross-hatching to show the light of the hat right here and the darkness of the hat in the back, okay? He also used this in this drawing in the socks, for example. He used hatching diagonally here to show darkness in the back, cross-hatching in the leg and in the sock right here. And also he used a really dark in the back of this rocking chair of Grandpappy. All right, so Lebo uses hatching and cross-hatching in his drawings. Many artists also use it, and today we are going to be practicing. So let's begin. So today what I have brought to look at, the objects that I have brought is a little box wrapped and this orange, all right? So what are we going to do? We're going to draw it. So I'm going to put it back here so you guys can see it really big. But in your classroom, you could use anything you like. You could even take a pear or a ball, a basketball, you could use that also. And you could use any box, maybe a shoe box or a cereal box, any box that you find, okay? So what you need is a point of light, okay? So when we draw it, we're gonna put a point of light somewhere, okay? And then we're gonna work on hatching and cross hatching. So let's begin. The picture that you're looking at has a box that has an angle that goes like this, okay? And it goes up, and it has an angle that goes back. When we draw a box, these lines have got to be parallel, okay? These lines have got to be parallel. Remember, parallel go the same way, okay? And this one and this one have got to be parallel and of the same size, so the box is the same size on all sides, okay? There, okay, more or less. Now, we have an orange and orange on the top. So I am going to draw the orange right here. Right now, my picture is very flat. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna finish this box going all the way to the top here. I'm gonna go back here, because from my point of view, I see it more like this. Okay, so everyone's gonna see it from a different point of view. If you don't have one, you use mine right here. But if you have one, if you have something to look at, it's better to look at it from different points of view in the classroom. Now we have this flat picture. We want to start using hatching and cross hatching. We are going to set the point of light here. Like, let's pretend the sun was right here, okay? This was like the sun. And the light is projecting from here, okay? Onto our picture. The first thing that we are going to do is make the hatching and the cross hatching on the box. So if the sun is on this side, okay, here and here, then this will be the darkest place in our picture. So let's make some hatching. Now, like the darkest point would be down here and down here, I am going to cross hatch vertically. No, diagonally. But only at the bottom, okay? There we go. I'm not gonna take it all the way to the top. I'm just gonna do it this way, like that, and really fast, okay? Now I'm gonna do this side right here, which has a little bit more light because the light is coming from here. So let's do it. Okay, so now you see that there's more light here than on this side right here. And now we're going to make the shade. Actually, let's do the top of the box, okay? And on the top of the box, there's more light here on this side and less light here. So we're just going to make some lines to show that the light is on that side, okay? And behind the orange, what happens behind the orange? There's no light. So we are going to just make the shape of the orange and just leave it at that. And now we want to do the hatching and the cross hatching on the orange. So let's begin doing that. The lighter side is here and the darkest side is here. Remember that an orange is like a sphere, and in that sphere you have to make the shape of it to give it the volume, okay? Even if you're doing hatching and cross hatching, you still have to give it volume. So let's do it. Okay, so now we see that we have more light coming from the back than from the back where the sun is at, that from the front where there's no light. Now this seems like it's sitting in space. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some hatching and cross hatching on the bottom of the box right here to give it some weight, okay, and show us that it's sitting down. So all we do is we make more or less like a square here. Imagine the shadow, and then next to it we make darker lines. Okay, and now our drawing seems like has weight. Let's put some little lines here just to show that it's on the table right there. And ta-da! Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece of artwork, our drawing, and we are going to cut it, okay? Now we have our drawing, and we are going to take our tints and our shades that we did last class. We're gonna put it underneath, and what we're gonna do is we are going to just glue this here, whichever way we think would be best. Maybe from the red up, and we leave the shade at the bottom. So let's do that, and we'll just draw a table afterwards, okay? Right now, what you have just made is a piece of artwork that has to do with volume, okay? When we looked at Georgia O'Keeffe's The Petunias, we saw that the tints that she used were used for volume. It didn't look flat like this flower. No, her flower used volume, so we tried to use different tints here and shades to practice her volume. We're going to use this in a painting later on in another lesson, but for now we're practicing. And also we have shown volume by doing the hatching and the cross hatching. Remember, everyone's piece of artwork is going to be different because we all have different styles and we are all different. So let's enjoy everyone's piece. Let's put them on the art show. Let's show them and enjoy them. So today, guys, what we're gonna do, the last part is sign our names, the date, 19, and we are ready to show our work. So have a wonderful week, have a wonderful day, and next week I'll see you with another wonderful art project. Bye bye.